Okay, so what we're going to do now is Carys has got some questions for me and Karen and Bernie. So, Bern, do you want to just come a bit nearer to us whilst we have these questions? Is that all right? That's great, yeah. So over to you, Carys.
So I'm going to start off with asking Carys some questions, then Jane, and then Bernadette, and then some questions that you can all answer. So to start off with, Karen, what has been your favourite destination so far?
That is a really easy question. So for me, the highlight has been when we've been driving around the Ring of Kerry, which is in the very sort of south of Ireland. And it's along what they call the Wild Atlantic Way. And it's exactly what it sounds like. You've just got the amazing sea views as you're driving on the one side, and it is quite wild, and I mean it's amazing. And then as you look to the right hand side, there's a lot of sort of moors. So you have bright green grass and then you have brown as it goes up the mountain. So the contrasts were really striking. It was absolutely amazing. And the one night a couple of nights ago, we actually stayed in a lay-by on the side of the road. We just pulled up the camper van. We parked literally right next to the sea. The wind was howling, the rain was pouring, and we were right next to the sea, and it was just amazing. My favorite moment of the whole trip.
Yeah, that sounds really lovely.
It was.
Would you say this whole trip has brought you all closer?
Yeah, I think you learn things about people, like Bernadette, for example, hasn't been, I mean, Jane and Bernadette haven't really spent any time together, have you?
No, not really.
So that's been interesting. So definitely, I mean, I'll let them speak for themselves, but the three of us together, it's actually been really good because you see different things about people when you're in a confined space, and then you have to learn how to sort of work with that as you're going along. So it's a learning experience, and about yourself, actually. You know, you've really got to be you really need to think about what you're doing and how you're behaving and contributing. So, and I think the three of us have actually, especially interestingly, I think as we've gone on, we're learning to sort of, everybody just jumps in and does different jobs. From poor old Jane always gets lumped with the really nice job of emptying the toilet. Bernadette and I are happy to fill up the water and switch off the gas and the electricity, but the toilet has always ended up with Jane.
I'm trying to work out whether it's because I use it more than everybody else.
Anyway. So yes, it's been really good.
Yeah. Have there been any challenges whilst being on the road, or?
We've had like today, for example, was quite wet, and I mean, it was Jane's challenge more than anybody's. But the roads were quite narrow and windy and wet. So I really take my hat off to our star driver over here. I mean, honestly, she's been amazing. The places that she's driven this bus have just been incredible. So I think some of those challenges, and yesterday was a really long day. It just, I said when we finished, I'm sure we were trying to head for the Cliffs of Moher, which was quite far northwest from where we were. And it just felt like they kept moving the cliffs. Every time you thought, okay, it should be like half an hour, it seemed like another 2 hours. And we didn't make it, actually. We ended up staying over somewhere. So yeah, yesterday was a bit of a long day. But in saying that, we got to see amazing places that we probably wouldn't have seen any other way. So yeah.
It worked out in your favour.
It did. It
did.
It was beautiful.
Yeah. Okay. So now on to Jane. What has been your favourite stop?
I think probably Dublin. The first night that Bern and Karen arrived, we went into Dublin kind of late afternoon. We had a look at the shops, and we kind of wandered around, and then we went into Temple Bar, which is where all the bars are, and we went into a typically Irish bar, which is called the Temple Bar, and it was just brilliant. It was full of people, and we had some Guinness, and there was proper Irish music going on, and it just had a really lovely feel to it. So that's me, party animal that I am. I liked that best.
Yeah, that sounds lovely. What is the funniest memory you have of the trip so far?
Oh, just let me have a moment to remember what it could be. Well, you will see it on video, but so we brought these bikes with us. There's 2 electric bikes, and then there's like a push bike. And so we were trying the electric bikes out, and they're mine and Ian's. And Ian's like 6'2", and I'm 5'9". And so I'm thinking these bikes are going to be okay. I'll just put the seat height really far down for little Cam. But when she got on it, her legs, she was really on the tippy of her toes to be able to ride it. But she's such a trooper, she decided she's going to have a go. And she rode off, and honestly, she was like a woman on a penny farthing. It was that big. So she happily rode around. I made her put a helmet on before she set off, thankfully, and she happily rode around the field, and she rode behind the van. Bernie was filming it, and as she came back round the van, Bernie just said, what did you say, Bernie?
Let's see if she can turn without killing someone or herself.
At which point she just went thought, and properly she put her leg out. She was stopping, so she braked, and then she knew she had to put her leg out, so she put her right leg out and leaned to the left. She just went, oh, straight on her face. It was hilarious. In fact, we were laughing about it so much that day, and then that night we all got in bed, and it was all quiet, and we were all just going to sleep, and then suddenly Karen was like, whoa! So you'll see that because we have evidence of it.
How's it been with the 3 of you in this mobile home?
It's been amazing. I've been quite surprised at how great we've all got on. I'm not surprised that Karen and I got on well, but like I said, I've known Bernie more online than I have in person. And so it's been lovely to spend time with her, because she's really laid back, and she's a real trooper. And you know, just feel like it's been great. I tell you what's funny, like, it's been a more positive experience than if I'd have had Ian with me, because he would have been grumbling about stuff, and there's been no grumbling at all, so that's been lovely.
Well, that's great. Now on to Bernadette. How has the break to Ireland been for you?
Sorry,
How's the break been for you?
It has been awesome. I've had a chance to take millions and millions of photographs to the point where my phone doesn't want to work anymore. I've seen places that I would probably never have gotten to see. And just doing something different. Like, whenever I go anywhere, we travel in a car and then we sleep in a guest house or a B&B. So having to sleep on the side of the road in a camper van was a whole new experience. So I'm always looking for new experiences, new adventures. So this was it.
Yeah. So if you were to tell us, like, where is like a must-see place that you've been to?
It would have to be the Ring of Kerry. The Ring of Kerry, no matter how many photos you take, no matter what angle you take them at, no matter how clear or foggy the sky may be, you will never ever do it justice. The Ring of Kerry, and then the other thing for me was seeing all the churches, those that were in use, those that were just ruins, and the history behind it. Ireland is very old, and it's just, I don't know, it's just soothing for your soul to walk up to one of these churches and just sort of be in that part of history. You know that, you know, something big has happened there, and you're standing in the spot where maybe the Irish people were fighting for their independence. So that for me was amazing.
Wow. Yeah, I can imagine. But what's your favorite memory of the trip so far?
Probably Karen falling off
No.
of her bike. You have to watch the video in order to understand how funny it was. Besides Karen falling off of her bike, it's hard to sort of pin it down to one thing, because every single place we've been to has been special in its own way. So but yeah, if anybody asks me what I remember from Ireland, I'm going to tell them it's Karen falling off of her bike.
Can I just tell you, ladies, I have bruises all the way down the inside of my leg, and not once did anybody say, "Are you?" Yeah, you see, not once did anybody say, "Are you okay?" They just killed themselves laughing.
I think there might be evidence on that we were concerned for you on that video.
Oh dear.
Now I have a couple of questions that aren't aimed specifically towards someone, so anyone could answer. So have you learned anything from this trip? Anything new?
I think I've learned that I need to rely on God more. You know, it's so, when we were out on the Ring of Kerry and we were parked in this car park, it was so windy that the whole van was going blah, 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 like this, and it felt like it, you know, it's the first time I've had that experience, and it felt like any minute now it's going to blow over, or we're going to end up rolling into the sea or something, and it was really scary. And so I thought, okay, I'm just going to pray about it. So I thought, I'm going to go through the Lord's Prayer. So I lay in bed with all the lights off, and I shut my eyes, and I was like, Our Father. And then I was thinking about what Our Father meant. And then I was going to the next bit, and I was kind of talking to him about what it meant and everything. And I think I probably got a little bit further into the prayer, and then I fell asleep. And then I must have woken up in the night when it was even worse. The van's like this, and there's bang, bang, bang with the rain on the van. And just, you know, carried on the prayer, and you know, we were fine. And so I just learned that I don't need to have to worry, because God's there. So the next night, I was a bit worried because when we got to where we were staying, Bernie said, "Oh, this is just the sort of place where a serial killer would lurk." So then I was scared about that. And just to make matters worse, that was the moment we discovered that the toilet was full, and it was dark, and the rain was horizontal, and there was no way any of us was going to go out there and deal with it that night. So it was like, I know when I get up in the morning, my brain goes, go to the toilet now. So I was a bit worried about that. So I thought, I'll just pray again. So I lay down and I shut my eyes, and I went, Our. So obviously that's working.
Anyone else?
I learned to shower with 6 drops of water. It's important to conserve water, so we had to come up with ways of doing that. So you couldn't just hop in a hot shower and stand there for 5 or 10 minutes. There was no such thing. And showers became a luxury.
We got so excited the day that we pulled into a camp, and they had proper showers with hot water and a laundry. I mean, we were just like, whoa, this is all our Christmases have come at once. We can wash our underwear. One of the things I think I've learned is, I think I am pretty reliant on Stuart, my husband, and just having the 3 of us together like this has been amazing. I mean, we're a really great team, and so just realizing that, do you know what, we can do this. I can do this. You know, we are independent. We can wash out the toilet and
inflate tires
and you know, we've got this. That's been quite a great thing.
Yeah.
We've got time for one more question to the 3 of us.
Okay.
Question, yeah.
wonder if anybody else has got a question.
Yeah, has anybody else got a question they want to ask?
I want, oh, sorry, you go, Jana.
No, go for it.
I want to say is, what did you do with the full toilet when it was dark at night?
Well, I'd worked out, because, like, just to give you a bit of information, like Juanita will know this, but when you have a cassette toilet, there's like a dial on it and it goes to red, and it starts off at green, and then as you use it, it gets more and more red. And I looked at it and there was the tiniest bit of green. So I said, there's only enough room in there for one wee in the morning. And Karen was going to be up early, so she had that wee.
I didn't go out in the rain and the dark.
And we just left, and then I just dealt with it the next day. So I woke up about 3 seconds after Karen woke up. It's too late. So I've got this mega torch, and I went across to the toilet block and had a wee there in the dark, thinking, is there a serial killer coming in this toilet? And I was like planning while I was sitting on the loo, I could hit him with this torch. Ridiculous.
Oh dear.
It was very dark. Any other questions?
Can you cook in that camper, or do you buy takeaways?
We cooked. We had fun cooking, I think.
Yeah, we did have fun cooking.
Yeah, like Karen was saying earlier on, we're actually quite a good team. So there was no, oh no, it's your turn or it's my turn. Everybody just got stuck in. So we've had some pretty good meals in here. From prawns to chicken to vegetarian meals. It's been great.
And we kind of took it in turns to be executive chef, chopper,
And
or
sushi.
cooker. So
Shall we just give you the official terminology is head chef, commie chef, and sous chef.
Okay. Oh.
One more question.
I have a question.
Hi, Londiwe.
Hi,
How are you?
Londiwe.
Hi,
Nice.
everybody. Sorry I'm late.
It's okay. It's great to see that you're here. What's the
I want to find out, have you guys like heard myths or rumors about leprechauns? Can I say that? Leprechauns? Or maybe found the fountain of gold or the rainbow? I don't know. Has anyone suggested where you can go maybe to find a leprechaun over the rainbow?
We found a rainbow, if that counts.
We did find a rainbow, and we actually said, I don't know if you saw my Instagram story or our Instagram story, but there was a rainbow. You could see it in the sky, and I did put a little leprechaun with a pot of gold at the bottom of it, because I mean, if you're ever going to find the pot of gold, this is the place to find it. And we were on the Ring of Kerry, so what better place to find out? We didn't find it there, did we?
No.
We didn't, but I would just say that we've been in a few pubs, and I would say that there's a lot of really small Irishmen, so maybe that's where it comes from, and they are proper happy, lovely, pleasant people, so maybe that's it.
Maybe that's where the leprechaun comes in. Question, Londiwe.
Thank you. Yeah, so thank you very much for those questions from all of you, particularly from Carys. Thanks, they were great questions. I hope you enjoyed them.